For what it's worth, there are some songs that just sound better with Dave and Tim by themselves. And in between those songs, we got some bangers and we got some songs that have not been played for a while. And guys, we got fiddle. There was a violin on stage tonight. We'll talk about it with Shane, who was at the shows, and we'll get some more information from Kumi with the video review. The DMB post-show stream starts now.
It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, where Sean has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. Happy Saturday. Welcome back, Love and Wings. Welcome back, One Sweet World intro. Houston, Texas, what up? Tampa, Florida, what up? Charleston, South Carolina, what up? I'm just naming cities that aren't going to get a DMB tour stop this summer. Gary, Indiana, what up? Poughkeepsie, New York, what up? Mount Holly, New Jersey, what up? Shout out Flagstaff, Arizona. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, what up? St. Joseph's, Missouri, what up? Pine Bluff, Arkansas, what up? Kennebunkport, Maine, what up? What up, what up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Thank you for joining the DMB post-show stream. I'm here tonight, and we're going to bring on Shane, our pal, Boiler Mike. Listen, this Mexico thing is a marathon, not a sprint. He's going to bed early. He's planning to join us tomorrow. But we're going to get Shane on here. We're going to get Kumi with the video review. We'll talk about this show and some other things, including after we talk with Shane, just, some stuff going on, people speculating about, oh, Dave, how does he a grandfather? What's happening? And all the speculation in the fan base on that and my thoughts there. I see Cameron's in the chat here. Cameron is a young man, and he played the Last Stop reprise as part of his drum solo at a recital for school. So shout out to Cameron. Hope you're doing well. All right, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to unmute my boy Shane here, and I'm going to bring him on. We're going to bring on the set list with him. There he is. Shane, how you doing?
Hello, Marcus. Good morning.
Good morning. It's 12:03 a.m. Yeah.
12:03 Sunday morning.
So you are a veteran here. Tell us what changes on day 2, night 2. How do the vibes change on a night 2 compared to your earlier arrivals, your Thursday night warm up, and Friday?
Night 2 is generally a little more mellow. Not going straight down to sleepy mellow, but after night 1, day 1 is the party day. Everyone's arriving. You're seeing friends. Alcohol is free here. First show together, the cocktails are flying. So I do tend to find I didn't see nearly as many inebriated people around me tonight, but for the first time in our 4 years coming down, we saw 2 people go down and need medical attention. So they're still partying, but I just didn't see it so close to my surroundings tonight as I did last night. Last night, there was a lot of stumbling people and tripping and spilling drinks and just sloppy people last night. And tonight did seem better, and this is how it works. And by night 3, hair of the dog doesn't work so good, and people are really starting to slow down by day 3. And not to say they're not drinking, but it's a mellower crowd. I mean, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And those that are trying to make it a sprint aren't faring very well, especially when the alcohol's free. I mean, and they're called jiggers when a bartender pours it. So it's a precise amount, but not in Mexico. Because if your cup's this big, it might get that much alcohol in it and this much juice or so. I mean, they're heavy pours here. It's they don't care. It's all paid for. Just blah, 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 keep filling it. And then, you're out in the sun all day. You're probably not eating very well because you're filling your belly with alcohol. Yeah. So to answer the question, yeah, day 2 is a little better than day 1. And day 3 will be a little better than day 2. So the weather cooperated today. So it was sunnier. So it warmed up a bit. So maybe that got some people a little more sunburn, maybe, or maybe they didn't apply so much sunblock. Or yeah, it was Sierra Hall, or not Sierra Hall, the poolside bar, poolside stage where they have, packs them in, drinks are flowing. Yeah, it's just another excuse to have more cocktails around here. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we're doing this event over here. Come have some cocktails with us and do this. And at 2:30, come over here because there's cocktails over here and we're gonna do this. And it's just like people just kind of migrate, or they just stay by the pool and they don't do anything. And the waitresses and the waiters just keep filling them up as soon as they empty them. It's it's a lot. It is a lot. I'm not a drinker. I can't drink anymore. It's just not in my wheelhouse anymore. So I'm seeing a lot of this from a very sober eyes. Seeing a lot of this, but oh well.
All right, and someone in the chat here, KNN74, says we drink water all night because the sun got us. So definitely seems like that's a theme there as far as people really that are going hard, starting off those first couple of days. They start to feel it today. Let's talk about this opener. I got a couple of messages from people, and everyone who talked about Sierra Hall and her opening set at this kind of beachside stage. It was nothing but positive. Wow, amazing. The crowd's really into this. Tell us about what made her set resonate with the fan base.
What made her set resonate? Well, she has got a beautiful singing voice, very talented on the mandolin, and her band sounds incredible. You know, they tonight talked about their love of Bela and playing with Bela and playing on some of these other stages with other musicians, and she's got a great sound. I mean, really, her playing is tight, and she's this little package. She's a small girl compared to the rest of her band that tower over by a foot or two. But she's out there ripping this mandolin like, oh my God, she was winning over the crowd so fast tonight, especially tonight's set on the main stage. She came out to play, and the crowd loved it. I mean, everybody was just like, what a great show you're putting on. So yeah, she's going places, and I wasn't really familiar with her. I heard some rumbling in our kind of group chats and all that. We have some friends that are really enjoying her and like, dude, you gotta check her out. I said, I'll check her out. I'm so glad I took the recommendation. She's amazing. Really, really talented young lady.
All right. And just to give people at home some information on the band members, we have Avery Merritt playing violin, Sean Richardson on guitar, Eric Coveney on bass, and then Mark Goose Radaba Jr. as the drummer. Sierra Hall plays mandolin, as Shane just said. That's the whole band behind Sierra that played as the opener for this specific stage. Now, let's talk about this show. Walk us through Dave getting on stage and then stepping onto where the piano is and playing For What It's Worth. What was that like?
Everybody was really amped tonight. Again, Sierra Hall left the stage tonight with an excited crowd. There's some openers in the past that have been way too mellow for a Saturday show in Mexico. And it felt almost as though when Dave came out back then, people were not at peak excitement, even though it's Dave and Tim, versus Sierra getting out there and just revving everybody up, getting people dancing. And there's an extra buzz, you know, like, wow, that was a great opening set. Now bring on Dave and Tim. And everybody in our little area was quite concerned how Dave was going to be feeling, especially after last night. We talked about it, and he verbalized how he felt, how he thought he was performing, and his almost apologetic way of saying, look, guys, I'm sorry, I'm doing my best. I'm going to give you the best weekend I can. I'm not feeling good. Fever must have broke last night. He must have slept all day. He came out to introduce Sierra Hall as the opener, and his voice sounded great. Like yesterday when he introduced the opener, he sounded rough. Like, I don't want to be here, but I'm here anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tonight he came out. You can see a little bounce in his step when he introduced the opener. So everybody was like, oh, I guess we're feeling a little better. You know, maybe this extended flu ick that he had is starting to pass, and he got some rest. He said yesterday during the show that he had a fever during the day. Maybe that broke, like I said. I don't know, but there was a definite difference in his night and day. It was just night and day when he came out. And then he came out to open up his show, I walked over to the piano, and right from the get-go, Dave's speak was, you could tell he's feeling better. You're like, oh, he's more engaged. He's funny. He's making his facial expressions and stuff. So yeah, you were like, all right, we're in for a good night of Dave feeling better. You know, we didn't know where it was going. We just knew from that very small tidbit of time, we were like, all right, he's looking better. He's walking faster. He's sounding better. And he sat down at the piano and started playing For What It's Worth. I can't even put, I don't want to exaggerate this, Marcus. It was so quiet. Like you could hear the waves on the beach. You didn't know there was like thousands of people on that beach. It was dead silent. And we just looked around like, oh my God, this is special. Like nobody's like, whoa, Buffalo Springfield cover or anything, you know, it's like, it was just like, man, the attention was on him and not a word was. So that was really special way to start the show. Just full attention. It was beautiful. It was just beautiful. I really, I hope that some tapers get this out to people, because it was fantastic. It was a great way to start a show, and we didn't even know what we were in for after that. We were just like, oh, we're starting the show with a cover. Okay, we'll do that. You know, great. And then Don't Drink. You know, a little bit of his wailing, not much, but you could tell voice is a little better tonight because he didn't even try any of that last night.
Let's stop right there. I just want to bring up something here. Songs in this set sound better, in my opinion, Dave and Tim acoustically. Don't Drink the Water, which you just mentioned. Madman's Eyes. Even You and Me, even though it's a song I'm not a huge fan of in general, it sounds better there. And I'm trying to look down the set list, but those songs to me, I'm not as big of a fan of them full band. Now, Don't Drink the Water is wildly popular. It's one of the most popular songs full band. I just don't like the loud wall of sound from beginning to end, sped up tempo vibes. But I think one thing that's great about these Dave and Tim shows is even if you get a song you're not too much into, just having Dave and Tim, just hearing those acoustic guitars and nothing else, to me, makes it better. What say you?
You know what? A 5-minute acoustic Don't Drink, I will take every day over an 11-minute band. It's me. I'm sorry. I don't need round robins of every single player doing 4 bars or whatever it's called. You know, Dave and Tim on the acoustic, they play it, they sing it. It packs a punch. It's right there, and they're done. No exaggeration. Timmy gets the smallest of little jam, and it's sufficient. You don't need that. Don't get me wrong. It's such a popular song. It gets one of the largest reactions every single show. It's his anthem almost for the band, and people love it, and that's great. I've seen so many Don't Drinks that when I get to see the acoustic, tighter, to the point Don't Drink, it just resonates so much more with me. It just does. It's so good. And that's not, you're like, oh, I'll tell you what, if I don't hear Carter on those drums during that song, it's Carter. No, get out of here. Come on. We've all heard the band. We've heard it 100 times.
Right. But
when they do this acoustic, it's special. It's different. It's not blaring. It's not in your face. This is my song, and it's good, and this is how we're going to play it. And I prefer it. I love it. And it's how I prefer to hear Don't Drink the Water, to be honest with you.
Yes. I imagine people at a campfire listening to a storyteller tell the story of, conquest in the West. North America and South America and various territories in colonialism. All right, let's go. We're gonna skip. Now again, let's not forget for this show to go for what it's worth. Don't drink Dodo Pig, One Sweet World, Dreaming Tree. That is a way to open a show. But I want you to just take us through what was different about One Sweet World this time compared to many of the One Sweet Worlds in this post-Roy era.
The acoustic intro come in, and they played it for a while. People didn't know what it was because they're thinking they're just noodling. They're doing, but no. And then it slides into One Sweet World, and people, yes, it was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it's those things. It's those little. They don't last long. We're not talking 15 minutes of intro for a song. Relatively short, but special. You know what I mean? It's good. It's so refreshing. Look at this.
Yeah, and I think what's important as we're talking about this, how these condensed things are better. This band, Dave Matthews Band, is talented, but if you're not going to be a jam band where your actual jam drastically changes, the length of the jam drastically changes. You're missing your boy Billy Strings. He's in your home market of Denver this weekend.
I gotta go. I'm done. I'm not talking about that.
Right.
No.
But but even further than that, like when you think about the Grateful Dead, Fish, Goose, any jam band, they're going to have the jam may be have A minor to C major to G, like in one night, and then the next night it's a shorter condensed jam in A minor. And so since DMB does not do that every night, nor should they, that's not their thing. More jam variety, I agree, but changing different keys of a jam, that's just not something that's not their actual lane. But because they don't mix up those jams, having things short and to the point for some songs are better. Other songs, like A Lion Our Graves, we played out. So I think that's what's important for viewers who are like, wait, they don't like Don't Drink the Water. They don't like this. What it comes down to is when you go to all these shows and you, like Shane and I, we love different types of jam band, bluegrass, alternative rock. We were just talking about Sturgill Simpson, or alt country, and everything. That's what Sturgill does. He just does everything. When there's more variety, it's definitely different. I want you to talk about the moment that Sierra Hall enters into the stage with Angel from Montgomery and her mandolin comes out. What was that like?
Big Tedeschi Trucks Band fan, first of all. I'm going to throw that out there.
All
I
right,
think Susan's voice is angelic. I love it. But she comes out, Sierra comes out, and little banner between her and Dave, the first time meeting today, and things were happy. They seemed really happy to see each other. And they started in on this Angel from Montgomery, and it was just gorgeous. It was so beautifully sung and played. I have a really good friend. I know he's listening right now, Tom. He got the set list last night. Afterwards, he came over, and he's a huge Deadhead. I mean, he's seen so many Dead shows and Tedeschi, and he came over afterwards. He's like, that's probably the best Angels I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
I mean, what a statement, right? I mean, this is a serious Deadhead that has seen more shows than most, and I mean, it was that beautiful. It was fantastic. And Dave let Sierra sing and really take what I felt was like the bulk of the song. And Dave came in kind of like maybe 3/4 a little bit and did his stuff. But just to have that mandolin on stage, fantastic. It's just Dave and Tim with 2 guitars. And then, wow, we got a mandolin singing Angel. Like, what a treat. It was a beautiful treat.
And next up, I want you to explain the experience that was Ants. You and others in the crowd were like, this is one of the best ants in a while, or, that we've ever experienced. But I want to just make sure we give the credit to who was on stage. Sierra stayed on stage with her mandolin.
Correct.
We had the guitarist, right, Sean Richardson, and then the violin player, the fiddle player here, Avery Merritt, pulled up as well. And we get a bluegrass ants marching. What
Incredible.
made this thing different than all the ants marchings you've seen here? Dave solo, Dave Matthews band. What made this one kind of be memorable for this current era of the band, or of the DMB universe, I should say?
Wow, how to even process that song was incredible. They started singing. Of course, you got the fiddle, or is it a violin? I'm not real good with distinguishing between.
Same thing. You just
Okay. So the crowd going crazy on that. Like as soon as you get that, I mean, people were just losing their mind. We got a fiddle on ants, and they sounded incredible. I keep saying incredible because I don't know their words. They sounded so good, but they went into this jam where Dave was like, I'm just going to sit back and watch these guys play. And they took this ants bluegrass jam really spacey. Like they got out there, and it was so exciting to see. And they wrapped it all back up and brought it right back into ants and served it to everybody in the place. It had to be the loudest eruption of the night. Wow. That song, I'd like a time on it. I don't know how long it lasted, but good Lord, Sierra and her band came out and crushed that song tonight.
That's awesome, and I look forward to hearing some official audio there. And if you guys are watching this, there seems to be less stuff on. Now, people are having fun, but usually, like for last night, right? That Kit Kat Jam, you had a lot of like vertical shot video on Instagram. We appreciate everyone. Two Steph, I think it's Janine, had some, like there was some that popped up. But if you guys have raw video from Mexico, maybe you're watching this post-show stream days after you just got home from Mexico and you're watching this. If you have video, message me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Blue Sky, or YouTube, and we'll find a way. If you have video, I do want to capture some of these moments like this ants marching, to make a multi-cam. If you did take video, I know many of you guys are living in the moment, but if you did take video, it could be a 30-second clip, a 5-second clip. Please let me know. Reach out, put something in the comments here. We'll find a way to connect via social media or some messenger app, and I can give you a link to my Dropbox. I do want to definitely give this ants marching the right treatment it deserves in a multi-cam.
Excuse me, Marcus.
Yeah.
I saw the Hollywood Bowl show.
Okay.
I believe with the last violin with the full band. I could be wrong on that. Because
yes. Well. Oh no, because after the Hollywood Bowl, there was the Gorge Night 1 of 2023. So Anne-Marie Simpson, or Anne-Marie Inninger, because she's with the bass, one of the band members of Incubus now. But Anne-Marie, Simpson, Calhoun, however you want to, former Calhoun, she was there at the Hollywood Bowl. But also, I believe that the Gorge was after that. I have to look that up. But
I didn't have time to look that up either. However, if you weren't at that Hollywood Bowl show, if you weren't at night 1, the Gorge, when was the last time you saw a fiddle or violin on ants?
Right.
So, I mean, that's just how insanely special that one song on tonight's set was. We had 3 or 4 guitars on stage. Dave, Tim, the one guitarist from Sierra, she had the mandolin. there was quite a bit of instruments on stage making some beautiful noise tonight. It was fantastic.
Yeah. And just me from the couch tour, what stood out to me is the mandolin, just like Hamilton's bandolin, there is a perfect space for it. There are some times where even we saw with Kit Kat Jam, Tim Reynolds just can't play something out in certain parts of it. He'll still hop in a little after Dave builds something up. But the mandolin has the clearance space to pop in and pop out, as she did with both of these songs, Ants and Angel from Montgomery, that even Susan's electric guitar doesn't have. Other people's acoustic guitars doesn't have. And the mainstream fans of this band would prefer an electric guitar, a trumpet, a loud all that wall of sound, and that's fine. But I would love a tour where we get mandolin, violin, and acoustic guitars, maybe even add a drummer and a bassist, an upright bass, put Carter on the drums. Those strings and mandolin and guitar all together is just such a just peaceful, relaxing way to take in the music of Dave Matthews and Dave Matthews Band. And again, it's not some people, oh, I want that loud guitar. The loud electric guitar that Tim played actually gained it grew the fan base. And honestly, if they did not have that electric guitar, I don't think they would have captured the late millennials. And I was born in I'm 34, so I'm kind of in the middle to end of millennials. But they captured a whole fan base with that wall of sound. But I still, any day of the week, want the acoustic percussion version of the band, even with the full band, with trumpet, with sax. So that's one of those things. The next thing, just talk about that Loving Wings in the E1 spot. Something that was played, if I go to my Twitter post, it was played in Mexico. Let me just take a look here. It was played in Mexico in 2020 before the world shut down. 2/15/2020. It was played live from the home series, July 2020. That aired July 3rd, but that was recorded before. But this song has been very, very rare over the history of this band. What was it like to experience Loving Wings in the E1?
Oh, the crowd erupted once we found out, once everybody kind of figured out what he was playing. And it's not a high count song for me. I think I checked my stats and that might have been only number 5 or 6 ever. Wow. So yeah, it beautiful. Just beautiful. Again, another point of the show where everybody shut up. And I just want to say this because I get so frustrated. I get so frustrated at this community sometimes.
No, talk to him, son. Talk to him.
This crowd will not say a word for Dave. As soon as he goes off stage and Timmy start playing, it's free to talk to everybody.
Disrespectful.
And we getting loud, and you just want to turn around and start slapping everybody and go, you give him the same damn respect you give Dave. What are you doing?
Put some respect on Tim Reynolds' name.
Put some respect on Tim's name. He is up there shredding for you. You don't give a rat's ass. You're sitting there talking like, oh, yesterday at the pool. Shut up.
We don't care about your tan.
No.
We don't care about your man.
The man gets 2 songs a night.
2 songs.
Give him 5-6 minutes and shut the hell up.
Shut up when I'm talking to you. One step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. I agree 100%.
So frustrated tonight. I was standing next to a friend that I just met tonight for the first time, a professional. And he just shook his head at certain points during Timmy and just like couldn't believe the disrespect. Couldn't believe the disrespect this crowd had for Tim. And they only started to quiet down on his first song, which is In Your Eyes. which I was here last year when he played it, and the entire audience was in tune with Tim last year, singing in unison. And I felt tonight a fraction of it, a fraction of the singing, a fraction of the paying attention. I just absolutely disgusted. And I love this community. I do so much for this community. I love this. And I don't understand, just because Dave is not the one playing the guitar doesn't give you the right to just be loud and disrespectful. I felt so bad for Tim, because he can hear it.
Yeah.
As he's playing, the sound volume from the crowd, it starts off like a low murmur. It starts getting loud, and I turned to my friend. I was like, man, they just need to take Timmy's guitar and crank that volume up so damn loud that people can't talk over it or something. But yeah, so that's my one. I'm gonna get off my soapbox now, but it seems like every year.
I agree 100%. And that's great. And that's it. We're not going to talk about Watchtower closing for the 3 millionth show. But Shane, thank you for coming on. We'll touch back with you tomorrow. Get some sleep. I know Mike, like I said, this is a tough day for everyone. It's paradise, but when you're doing all these activities, your body needs rest. Like you said, your body needs to get some food in it because you've been out watching the music and you forget, I need just another midnight snack, go to bed. So enjoy the rest of your night. We'll look to check in with you as long as you're good to go tomorrow. We'll add you if you're tired and we don't get you tomorrow. Thank you for taking time away from your vacation, time away from your friends and family that are there, as far as your wife, to come and chat with us about this show.
Thank you, Marcus. Have a great night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Love you.
All right. Take care. Peace. All right. So I want to thank Shane for coming on here. What I'm going to do next is going to play Kumi's stuff. What I will say is Kumi told me that he didn't put in his thing that he loved that One Sweet World intro, being a part of One Sweet World today. He forgot to add that in his videos. What I'm going to do is get these videos. Let's see. We got them. Are they saved? Oh, we got them. Okay. So let's go ahead and get these to my computer from my phone. And that way I can play them here. All right. So let's go ahead. We'll get the first one.
What's up? It's Kumi DMB, also known as DMB Fan JTR, coming at you from the balcony at the Sunrise Hotel after Dave and Tim Night 2 for Concert Vids 34 stream. Wow, it was another crazy night here in Mexico. Loving Wings for the first time after 5 years, I believe, in the E1 spot where I don't think anyone really expected it to be played. That was awesome. We got a Dreaming Tree. We got a Pig, which I feel like isn't played by Dave and Tim very often. I think it's been maybe this is the 7th time. I might be wrong about that, but I think this is the 7th time ever that's been played by Dave and Tim, which is crazy because that song's been around forever. 1998, But, man, it was another great set. I mean, Watchtower to end the show wasn't ideal, but, I'll take a Watchtower acoustic with Dave and Tim any day over a full band Watchtower at a normal set closing. Sierra Hull was awesome, man. The opener, she was sick. She came on and played Angel from Montgomery, and then she brought out some of her bandmates to play Ants, which was a crazy good version of that song. Yeah, it was nice to see some of that bluegrass genre sneak in, like the fiddle back for Ants. And she was a great opener. I think she's gonna go places for sure. I got there at the line around 4:45 or 5. So I was pretty close for most of the show. I got up to maybe 7 or 8 rows back for most of the show. there was a lot of chatter around me. I just don't get why you would pay so much money and come here in Mexico and just talk the whole time. I mean, to each their own, you know, people are allowed to talk if they want to. It was a little frustrating. At some point I moved to the back. I was just like, I wanted to have some more space. I kind of felt like a sardine up there. And I think around, what would you say, I went back to the back area of the venue. But the sound was great back there too. The sound was great at the front. The sound was great at the back. Didn't really miss a beat.
All right, just a fact here as well about that Loving Wings, and we'll get to part 2 of Kumi. This was the first Loving Wings in the encore of a Dave show since August 31st, 2013. That was a full band show where it was in the encore. This is the first Dave solo encore playing of this song Loving Wings ever. Like that's crazy. And it's only the 5th time the song has been played in the encore for the entire existence of the song. Those are some pretty interesting things there about this Loving Wings play tonight. All right, we're going to get this part 2 of Kumi here. So let's go ahead and get that set up.
The Dreaming Tree was freaking awesome. Seeing that Dave and Tim was amazing. It's really funny. I feel like the crowd was the loudest during You and Me, which is not my favorite song. But I mean, people really like it. I mean, I think there's a, you know, split of the fan base that loves the song and split of the fan base that doesn't want to hear it. But it's funny how, you know, DMB has such a range of songs they can play, and some resonate so well with others and some don't. Like when Dreaming Tree started, I heard somebody next to me say that this is one of their shitty songs, and I couldn't believe him. I was like looking at him like, this, I mean, to each their own, but The Dreaming Tree is like an epic song in my opinion, like one of the top 10 songs, maybe one of the top 5 songs that Dave's ever written. So that was weird, but the same guy was really excited during You and Me. So, you know, to each their own. You know, Dave plays what Dave wants to play, but a lot of solid songs tonight. Crowd was having fun as always, great guest spots, and yeah, it was an awesome time. Another great show in Mexico. Looking forward to, you know, hanging out with everybody, like Shane, Boiler Mike, and everyone else. It's been nice to hang out with them while we've been here in Mexico, and looking forward to doing more of that. And looking forward to a great night 3. I don't know how they can top, you know, a Kit Kat Jam night 1, Loving Wings night 2. I don't know if they're gonna do night 3, but it was kind of interesting. They didn't play more Some Devil songs tonight. Like I expected like a Trouble or like a Gray Blue Eyes or a Little Thing even, and we didn't get any of that. So, but anyway, I mean, Mexico's always a treat. There's always like at least 2 to 3 songs you hear a night here that you're not gonna hear, you know, anywhere else. Also, the opener was sick. I forgot the opening song, the piano song. It was a cover. I can't remember the name of the song, but it's a very popular cover. Everyone knows the song, but it was very interesting to see Dave come out to that. You know, Loving Wings is another song that I feel like needs to come back in rotation. It's a nice song, and an E1 spot, that's a good spot for it. I feel like kind of like how Dream Girl came back E1 first and then full band. I wonder if Loving Wings would do the same thing. But anyway, it was a great show. I'm looking forward to night 3, and thanks again for having me on, Marcus. I'll see you at the next one.
All right, that's Kumi. I can't believe someone said that was one of their crappier songs, The Dreaming Tree. But again, as I've tried to kind of give insight on, there are a lot of fans who invest in this trip and work hard all year to be able to go that love this band and they love deep cuts. There are people who love this band and they just don't love their deep cuts and they're crazy, but that's their opinion. They have a right to be crazy. But that, you know, and again, that's just how it is. And like, it's not like 90% of the fan base here is like, oh, I want all these deep cuts. It's much less than that. It's probably less than 50%. You have a lot of dedicated diehard fans that just love the band and they love the hits. And that's not a bad thing. And if people only like the deep cuts went to shows, there would not be enough people to fill up the seats. That's just how it is there. So yeah, just one of those things. Let me get the poster up. I did not do this yesterday, but I got to give my boy Daniel Danger some credit tonight. So let's get this set up here. This poster, this is the regular. There was a foil as well. This poster is phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. Let me get a little more in on there. I mean, you may look at this and see something like, it's not my style. But Daniel Danger, he's local to where I live. His studio is not too. It's within an hour's drive of me, less than an hour, but it's up in Western Mass. And I went up to see one of his kind of showcases there at his studio, and got to talk to him briefly. But he puts a lot of research into the images, the colors, the hidden Easter eggs in his posters. And this was a phenomenal selection for a Saturday Dave and Tim Cancun show. But I love this poster. I love a lot of his work. And this, again, this is what you want when you have a weekend like this. You want to get the best of the best in the community. Even the night one poster was great as well. This one to me is just going to be a standout of the weekend, if not the best of the weekend, because Daniel Danger, just his style to me fits artist objective, but the effort he puts in should be respected by most, just because he's putting in a lot of different things, even if you don't like this style, right? So pretty cool poster there. Let me just refresh, because I think let's see if we have the set list. We'll take the poster away again. Daniel Danger. Let's see. See if we can find. It'll probably be up. Let me see if I can. Yeah, we'll just for now. I'm sure someone has it. The next thing. Is just, this is just my opinion. First off, there's a lot of great fans on Facebook. I'm in a lot of great groups on Facebook, but there's a small percentage of the Facebook fan base that's just the worst of the worst. Like tone deaf, not understanding how wild they are. But when Dave said he's a grandfather, a couple of things, as I listen back to audio, it appears he already is a grandfather, meaning the baby is here. But people were trying to speculate, and it's natural. You want to know, right? You personally want to know. Or some people are gonna want to know. Like, to me, it doesn't matter. I'm happy that Dave's a grandfather and that he's happy about this moment. Doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't, right? And he has children of his own, and part of that, what he considers children, are his sister's children, which he raised after his sister passed away. So I don't know who it is, or potentially who it could be, but to me that doesn't matter. But some fans are gonna ask, does anyone know, or who knows? But what was disappointing was, again, a very, very small chunk of the community. And this is just how it is with any fan base, any fanatical behavior. Even though, listen, I will try to find out specs on guitars Dave has. But that's not personal in the sense of his personal life and his family. And it's also not a situation where potentially, who's the father, who's the mother of this child that's tied to Dave? Like, that's not my business. And so what was frustrating and the intent, who knows the intent? I just thought it looked wild. People were like trying to figure out, oh, it's not this daughter or this, or this son, or it's not this person because they were skinny at the Rock Hall. Like, why are you talking about Dave's daughters? Like, oh, they were skinny. Like, why are you even saying that? It was like a woman who said that too, right? Right? Why are you talking body image when you know that's a sensitive thing? Who cares? Yes, you saw Dave's daughter. They were, we could clearly see his family was there, but like, oh, based on how she looked, we have no idea. Right. And this speculation and I heard allegations of people looking into profiles of his family, Instagram profiles of his daughters. Like, that's the type of stuff that just is disgusting about this fan base. Like, to go that far, Dave said he's a grandfather. We're happy for him. Why are people on a public forum like, oh, let's do an investigation and let's talk about what the kids look like, who looks like they just had a child. Like, come on. To me, that's just it's too far. And I know there's people that just in this fan base, the expectation is on the floor, but like, this type of thinking for such a personal and a kind of something that should be to the discretion of Dave and the parents of this grandchild of Dave's, that should be like, hey, well, usually I stalk Dave and I'm creepy about this and I have a sign every time and I'm pushing and shoving him through the pit. But you know what? This is a child, and this is something where Dave was excited to be a grandfather. He didn't want to go any further. Let's not be the typical person we are, that type of fan, and respect that privacy. But yeah, people are always going to cross those lines, right? It's just part of life, but it's just sad to see, again, a very small, portion of the fan base even go further with this is someone's child. Let's let them decide what they want to, share from there. And again, it's sad too, because this fan base is getting older and some people act even more immature as they're older. And some of this is based off of struggles they're going through in their own life. And we're all human and we all struggle. But man, hopefully we can, this stuff can continue to go less. The positive is most people were like, I said something about it and someone was like, yeah, you guys better not complain if there's less tour dates because of this. And like, I was like, yeah, what are you going to find? Are you Roger Goodell? You're going to find people like just because they're upset that there's not a tour stop near them and because Dave's a grandfather. Like, and listen, I think we should be grateful for the dates we have. And if there's a shorter tour, me personally, where there's rumors that Hartford's not going to be played, that's fine with me. This band has given so much. They played Europe and went right to the States and played the United States front to back. Yeah, I know they skipped a lot, but they did their regular East Coast and Midwest. They still went out West. And that I can only imagine how grueling that is. So I don't think the band knows, but to be like, hey guys, yeah, you better not be me. You better be grateful. Like, come on. I don't. I can't. The other thing, this is, I did want to talk about this because I was, I'm grateful for the connections I have in the taping community and being able to talk to people and someone hit me up and saying, hey, here's some audio. It's not done, but just, hey, we'd love for this to be on, for you to have and play on the show. And that's what I did. I played that audio for you there. As far as the taping from Mexico, this is what I've been told from the taper. Because of the wind and other factors, the tape will not be done like, sometimes in the summer tours, you'll get a taper audio like that night or the next morning. You wake up and it's on Dreaming Tree, and maybe by midday or late evening, it's been put up on the hub. For Dave and Tim, because of this wind and the possibility that there's going to be additional work that needs to be done, it's going to take more than the end of this weekend for these things to come out. So just stay tuned. There's the 2-week rule, right? You give people 2 weeks, tapers 2 weeks before you even think about saying anything, to work on the tape, to make any changes, to run programs. This still applies to Mexico, but I would even say give even more grace, because anyone who's going to tape, or if there's multiple tapers here in Mexico, they are going to be taking lots of equipment through customs when they did it when they came in, and now they're going to be going back after this weekend back home. So just please be patient with the tape. I know most of you understand, but please spread this if people have questions. When's the tapes coming out? When the tapes coming out? And I know there's so much excitement on this special weekend, but please, folks, be patient. And even some of the stuff, there's some tapes that are missing from the fall and some summer. Like, if it's ready, it'll be out, right? This community of tapers, they're aware of the shows. Newsflash. Like, they know if a tape never comes out, there's probably a certain thing, a certain reason why, right? And anyone who is putting out a tape, they then they want to make sure if their name's attached to that, if they don't feel comfortable releasing it, even if you want the rough audio, you think it sounds great, it's up to the taper to decide if they have the right, if there's enough to really say, I'm going to release this out. And many of them still with challenges put their stuff out. But just appreciate what we have. And even so, there's always that possibility these things will be on SiriusXM. But please, if you see a taper at a show this year, thank them, be respectful, be courteous, and don't do anything crazy. But this community of tapers, just like the community of people that have tour rumors, it's dwindling down even more as people step away from the DMB community just to have other life things set up. Some people, move to other musical genres, right? And they may have had that taping for DMB, and now they're doing Billy Strings or other acts, and they just don't have that desire to see Dave in tape, right? They may see Dave just to enjoy it, but they're exhausted from taping. So just an update there as far as taping. That is it. That's all I got for tonight. I'll be back on tomorrow. And again, if you want to send a video review in, meaning like Kumi did, where you're just sharing your thoughts for 2 to 3 minutes, it could be 5 minutes. I will play it on here. I will obviously have to review it to make sure, and not crazy, but as long as you're respectful, don't go too crazy. Don't cuss every other word. And I'll look to try to do what I can to get it out. And also, like I said, if you have video here, Instagram, Twitter, all those things, message me, put a comment in here, and I'll try to see, hey, what social media do you have? What ways can I reach you? I'll get you a Dropbox link so you can get it over to me. And then I will try to piece it together with other videos to see if we have enough for multi-cams. I will say, even if there's some dead spots, if I can get 75% of the show on video and the rest of that 15% is just visuals or still photos, I will still make it. If I only have 20, 30, 40% of the show on video with everyone's footage, I probably won't do the project because I may just do an individual song or two and then go from there. But my goal I've been heavily motivated over the last year specifically to try to get more content out there and share the magic and power of DMB. And it's been possible because one person had a 15-second clip to fill in from this person's footage to that person's footage, and my footage of a show just didn't get there. And what shows do I do? Last year I did all 3 Dave and Tim shows, and then I try to do the ones I go to. On very rare occasions, I'll do a show like Gorge Night 1 2023 that I didn't go to, and there was a violin there, and there were some special moments that show, so I did do that. But I'm motivated to really try to get out this content to you. I feel very inspired to really try to get this stuff out. Last year, I got all 3 multicams in 4K. I never had put out 4K full show vids. There was so much 4K footage. I rendered the video on 4K and got all 3 multicams out from Mexico by March. I think it was like March 16th was the final one, which is extremely fast for what I do. Usually it takes time. It can take months with everything else I have in my life outside of DMB. I'm teaching Sunday school tomorrow, youth church tomorrow for middle schoolers. So there's a lot I do in my community with my family. And so I try to get them out as I can, but I really, if we get enough footage from Mexico, I should be able to blaze through it. And it's also one of those things, because it's only Dave and Tim, there's less camera switches. I can keep a camera on for longer and it still, showcases what's going on. It's your boy Conserviz 34. We'll close out with snow outside here. And it snowed outside in parts of the country that typically don't get snow. Some cities got double their average annual snowfall in one storm. And slowly but surely the snow is melting. Some schools, I got family in the 757, what up, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake. Some of the schools were closed through yesterday because of the snow that was above average for that area. Roads outside of the highways, some local routes were shut down because they couldn't clear the snow. So interesting times, cause for a snow outside outro. It's your boy Conserviz 34. Thank you for watching. Peace.
You are like a secret garden as I shuffle through this broken town. Think of you and you are all around me, like the sky when the sun's going down. I wanna tell the whole wide world, see how love can light your soul. But you are like my secret garden, and I wanna be with you alone. Oh, babe, hold tight, 'cause the road can be a crazy ride, and I know we're gonna be alright, 'cause you are here with me. Oh, woman, it's so right, and even if the oceans divide us, I will be here right by your side for the rest of our days. Yeah, for the rest of our days. If you are tired, I'll bear your burden. If you're dreaming, I will not disturb you. Whatever your heart desires, when love, I'll clear the way for you. Come winter, I will build you a fire from the bones of who I used to be. Before you came and washed the weary away, before you came here for me. Oh, man, it's so right, every day and every night, by the fire with the snow outside and the two of us. Oh, child, hold tight. If it gets to be a crazy ride, I'll be here right by your side for the rest of our days. Oh, for the rest of our days. This crazy ride, hold on and we'll be alright, me and you and me. Oh, here you come, you bring me real love, from the ground beneath to the stars above. I was going down but now I'm growing up, with you in my blood. Oh yeah, this is real love, shining down like the stars above. Arms out and I am growing up with you in my blood.